Hey, hello there. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you guys joining today. How are you doing? I hope you are having a awesome Wednesday pre-Easter. Hope you get a break from everything this weekend and get some of that Easter energy. That makes me question, like, what kind of impression or what kind of vibe does people associate Easter with, like in North America, for example, like giving away things, maybe a gift, like an after Christmas spirit. I'm kind of curious about it. So if you're from there and you're watching this, feel free to drop a comment. I'd like to know, like, what's the expectations for Easter. Do people look forward to Easter only because it's vacation time? It's not actually vacation, right? Because I think a lot of people around the world only get like it's only a special day in Sunday, I believe so. But there are plenty other places in the world where it's like the entire weekend, like Thursday, um, Friday, and I think even Monday. It's usually 3 days. At least that's how the way it is in Argentina. All right, so let's pick up from where we left off yesterday. Okay, so if you're new to the stream, I always like to give a quick introduction. We're trying to build an RPG productivity app that allows us to kind of complete and track our habits while adding an RPG element universe to it, where you can like nurture your character with level experience, stat points, and eventually use it and use those rewards to engage in fun activities such as battling, getting items. It's for the future, of course. Like for version one, we're just hoping to make it up to the character and make sure like every system works all right. Also, that's something I'm trying kind of different with Lovable. It's a new approach that I have to say so far I'm liking it. It's given good results, and it's an approach that I'm taking based on developing the working pillars of the features that I'm gonna need throughout the app first, especially if they have a complexity level where these features are going to kind of work with each other and maybe depend on APIs or things like that. So what I did differently this time was just focusing on building those foundations first, and then those monoliths, and then trying to build the right UI, which, as you just saw, I have designs for. Um, After I have the systems ready and free of bugs and errors. So it's an interesting approach so far. Again, for big, somewhat medium big projects, it's working fantastic so far. Of course, it takes a bit more of time, but overall, I think it takes the same amount of time than just trying to convince your AI builder to magically solve any kind of bug or problem you get. And also maybe even like avoiding for you to get stuck at the project, which is something I've gotten so many times before in my own project, especially with like the super base restriction that you can undo changes on the kind of back end side of the code, but you can undo changes on super base, right? At least not in the free tier plan. And even in the paid plan, it's not an instant rollback. You have like one daily rollback, something like that. So you can roll back to one day before, but not to, per changes, per version, per commit, which is really, really handy if you're trying to solve errors in your app. So, okay, we're just kind of waiting for the Lovable loader to load here. I'm sorry, I should have put this to load before turning on the stream. You can see here that I've been working with, this is the previous app. This is the app that I actually got blocked at. And I was trying to see what could be salvaged, because the last thing we did yesterday was recycling some of the UI elements we used for the old version and then migrate them to the new version with help of AI. and I wanted to see if I could do the same for the dashboard, which is a very big screen as well. Like it's this screen right here, basically. But it's not picking up like the things with the same amount of fidelity it had yesterday. So you can see it has like a different background font. Everything else I think looks good, to be honest, but I think it's just worth it to make it from scratch, to be honest. And to do that, I'm going to maybe I will steal this too because I do believe this to look really really good. And then just have a very rough basic version of the dashboard because I don't want to focus on the dashboard today. We actually have like a to-do list of things we needed to solve for today. You can actually like check the sorry, deciding like private stuff for my Notion here, but you can see here on my list that we have a couple of things we need to fix, right? So notification bills, dialog box. These are things that are not broken, but are more like details that enhancing them will definitely improve the user experience and the overall feel of the app. So yes, I just want to spend a lot of time doing that today because I think like debugging and really cleaning up and polishing the apps is something important. It's definitely something I want more people to learn about because this new wave of vibe coding and coding overall is going to bring a lot of competition. And one of the things you can definitely do to differentiate yourself from the competition right now and in the future, it's going to be not only having the experience to build something that is functional, but also something that looks usable at least, right? And that considers and polish details. But because think about this, if now everyone is going to be able to make a software, then the bar is going to go a bit up. So if you want to make an impactful software, if you want people to notice your software, you're going to have to spend some time on the things that make people notice the things you're building, especially in a sea of everyone trying to build the same apps with the same components, with the same looks, which is how things are baked with this current AI tools, at least until now. So yeah, I want to teach you that because I'm a designer as well in spirit. So my my designer side definitely wants to help up on a quest to teach you what I know and what could be used to make that happen and probably differentiate yourself and make more money out of vibe coding. So with that being said, I'm just gonna do a quick run at the app just to make sure that everything works all right. We actually gonna choose an account we already created. So I know this account already has a character. And this is the current dashboard screen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to redo the dashboard screen real quick. And for that, I'm just going to copy the character image. You know what? I actually don't dislike this design. And this is whole HTML, CSS, to be honest, which I really like. So maybe what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to go to cursor. I'm going to check that page. Which one is it? I don't know why it gave me two. Oh, because it made an innovation of the onboarding tool. I didn't ask it for, but that's okay. Yes, I'm just going to remove the things that I don't need, right? So refresh that. That was a button we had there because we wanted to have a QA control on the dashboard, but we don't need it anymore. We already tested the stats. Today habits. I don't love this layout. I don't dislike it either, but I wanted to look more simple and I think I will also like to add like a drop down button here so people can like oh, this is good. It actually got the padding correctly. So I wonder if I change the background color, everything's gonna go different. So I'm just gonna try that real quick. Gonna try to find the background style. Just probably this, right? No, here is body. And I think body is colored background, my dude, but I can have it here. Can I? I think I can, but I need to do like a call like this. A variable call. Which I don't know how to do. I think you call them like this. Yeah, like apply here. And then you go to the static version. By the way, this you see right now, it's just the same thing I did yesterday, where I just took the working version I had for my previous app, and I'm trying to recycle some of the components I have there, just because I developed those components manually, so I think it was fair for me to kind of try to get them up. Okay, so I'm just gonna see what's the problem here. I don't really know what I'm doing importing this style. I don't know how you import these styles in the head part of an HTML using Tailwind. Is this using Tailwind at all? Like, yeah, the other parts it is using. So I'm just gonna go and say, help me get this color from Tailwind right here. And it's manually putting the color, so I'm just gonna manually put the color. That's gonna be it. This is the color. And if I go and check it out, it's not changing. Cool. Oh, because I'm changing the onboarding. My bad. I wanted to change this. There you go. This should change it, right? Yeah. All right. I think this is better. Actually, I think it's got a couple of colors not right, but I think it's enough. And maybe I think maybe I'm going just to remove the list of habits here, or like morning workout, like that entire habit list. I don't like it at all, to be honest. So I'm just gonna remove it here and just stick with the. I want the title to be there, just to kind of explain that I want the image to be there. I'm going to also replace this with the class icon, maybe. You know what? Let's just proceed because I think we're wasting too much time here, and I'm gonna rearrange the the dashboard screen. I'm thinking if maybe I want to build the menu first. I think that might be better, because if I redesign the dashboard screen right now, I'm gonna lose like my habits button, my edit character stats, so and the logout, and I want all that to be like in a separate like config page maybe, which I think will actually existed in the previous version too. Like I'm pretty sure you could go to a page where you could log out and stuff. So I'm gonna try to get the menu right, and for that I'm just going to try to use the same prompt I used yesterday. So I'm gonna cancel this. I'm okay with canceling that, and if I go to here, okay, yeah. Now let's do the very same thing with the navigation menu bar component, which is layout, maybe pay layout. Yeah, I think it's on page layout. So I'm gonna tell it to. Now let's do the very same thing with the nav menu with the default page layout structure component plus nav menu. Let's do this because I want to. This component right here has like the basic layout from a page, right? So the margins, just make sure this is like a template that makes sure that every new page created in the app has the same spacing, margin borders to the sides of the screen, some of the colors like the background as well, and it also includes the navigation component element. So I want it to. I want to import it as it is. I want to use a single component for those. Okay, that sounds like a. That sounds okay for me. I'm not mad about it. And and I'm gonna go to the cursor of that. But first, I'm gonna make sure I didn't do any changes in. Okay, so I did make a couple of changes, just fixing a quick error that we got yesterday there. So I'm gonna open my project locally. This is the current version. And I'm going to make sure it's on the latest version of the project. So I'm gonna fetch some things from the repo, onboarding, that's right, we got it. And I'm gonna go back to the old project, page layout. And it's, I'm gonna see real quick how did I instructed yesterday the AI to import these things, right? So I was like, trying to import the front end code for some of the beneficial reveal. I want to avoid changing logic in backend. Okay, that's right. Okay, I'm gonna do it. So what I'm gonna do is great. Now I want to do the very same thing with importing a page layout, which also has a navigation menu. I want this page layout to serve as the default template for each new page created in the app. And if possible, find a way for recurring page. And I'm not gonna push my boundaries. I'm just gonna say for each new page created. I'm not gonna try to change the old screens. I think they're fine. I don't want to touch them. So I'm creating the app, and I'm just gonna give it a code. That's what I just did yesterday. It's like, hey, this is import this and make sure you add this new component to the dash, to the current dash. Right, that's the route for the dashboard. There you go, and I'm gonna provide the code. So code, where are you? Okay, I'm gonna read real quick just because I don't want to import all the icons like this. that's very inefficient. So I'm just gonna go and copy the page layout and gonna see if the icons work. If not, yeah, let's start with the page layout component. So I'm gonna go here, page layout component, bam, tailwind styles to be added in tailwind component. And I think we don't need to import the what's the add button. I think this is like the main button in the menu, right? So I'm just gonna go and how's it called again? Special button, something like that. Special button, I think it was. Wait a minute, I'm getting a bit lost in here. I'm just reading through to make sure I label the things correctly. Special add button, yeah, okay. Now let's see what it comes up with. And I'm also gonna check if the template I asked him to do for the dashboard in HTML, if it has comments. Yeah, it does have comments. That's all right. So I will only need to tell it to ignore like this hard-coded static things. And so I'm just gonna go back and see how the program is going here. It's adding the page layout, it's adding the config, and now it's updating the dashboard. Just reducing the volume of the music a bit. I'm seeing something, right? As he's talking with me, he's creating like an explanation of what he's doing, and I just noticed that he is like assigning a totally new action for the add button in the menu based on the page where it is, right? So it's defining the action on the dashboard page instead of the component. So maybe I just want to instruct him that for the nav menu component, I want it to always prompt the habit creation. Do I really want that? Yeah. So I think it's better we define it on the component itself instead of the page where it will be placed. I want the main button. Yeah. Just gonna make sure he doesn't. I'm gonna save all the changes, by the way. See if I can start testing some of the stuff it's doing. Cool. So, okay, he made a couple of changes to the habits. He added the button. I'm fine with that. He added some icons as well. Okay, I think it's cool. I'm cool with it so far. I'm gonna use custom icons later. So I'm gonna go and check what's the progress there. Okay, now if I reload this, create a new habit. Okay, so this is a new habit kind of page. This is inventory, habits, and then settings. I'm all right with it. So I'm just going to log in, sign up again, make sure these changes we made didn't broke anything related with new users like character creation and stuff. So motivation for sure. This is something I want to. Oh, I need to pick three, right? Yeah. This notifications is driving me crazy. I need to fix that as soon as possible. Then you have the character tutorial. Yeah, that's right. Let's go with low. And loading my adventure, and here is it. Okay. If I edit I can edit character anymore. I'm fine with it. The habits page can be found, and the character stats can be found. That's actually kind of weird. Just gonna make sure that it works. Yep, it works great on the previous version, right? I wonder if it just kind of changed. If I go to dashboard and check on what? Manage habits, for example. Manage habits. Navigate to /habits. That's something that should still be working, right? I'm gonna check the code here. Pages, it's not in pages, it's in sandbox, okay? So it's in sandbox /habits, but it's not in there. Sandbox, come again. If you click on habits, you had the habit system there. Okay, yeah, here. I'm wondering if I need to kind of add the /sandbox for this to work. I'm gonna try that. Sandbox habit. Nope, it's not picking it up. So, and I'm gonna ask it why, because I find that really, really odd, to be honest. Of the sandbox says like character edit, character stats, or habit management from the dashboard. I get full errors when navigating to those from our recent changes. I'm curious about what is it exactly fixing because the the link seems okay for me. Character creation, test habits, maybe. Is that really what it does? Well, yeah, it seems that fits it. So, all right. Edit character and the character stats. That's still working, so I'm fine with it. All right. I guess it fixed it now. So I'm gonna stop right there. I think with the menu is fine. We'll later like move these options to the settings page and redesign the dashboard. But I want to make some changes to the things we left up yesterday. So if I go to my list in Notion, I want to disable a lot of notification bells, right? So which ones I want to disable, I'm going to track them right now. I'm going to create a new account. Registration successful, redirecting, that one, right? So I'm taking a second if I should just remove all these notifications, like all of them, because so far I'm not really, the only notification I really care about is the experience one. So I think I'm gonna go with that. I'm doing that in Lovable. But before I'm pushing the changes that I just made locally, so for that, I'm just going to go and git add, git commit, um, add a navigation menu, page layout points, and then git push origin. I notice if you're watching and you're not very familiar with like git control management, this is very simple. What I just did with the comments was just adding the changes that I basically did to a package, right? It's like if you were to compress the thing that you changed the application in order to send it, then I just wrapped it up with a custom message that says added nav menu. Basically, what I just did, like the latest changes, so I can read them afterwards and kind of see in the version control what is the point and what's the message related to each point of the versions that I'm uploading, and then finally just send in that package or wrap up with my custom message to be the to replace anything that is on the custom repository right now. That's what I do. And that should load the things for Lovable as well. Yep, you can see in Lovable we got the menu right there. And from here, I just want to remove the notification. So I'm gonna tell it, hey, great job so far. I want you to help me uh, make a change app Y. I want to remove every notification that isn't related to getting experience points. Talking about the notifications that pop up, for example, com confirming or confirming is the word, yeah, confirming user register registration. And I also, let's take a wild guess right here, and I wanted to make it look like this. So I'm gonna try to isolate this real quick. let's kill 2 birds with a single shot. I also want to modify this notification field component to look like the image attached. I'm gonna check if I have the colors already on the, I think I do, on my Tailwind config. So if I go to Tailwind config, if I share this with the color, yeah, I don't have it. So I'm gonna go and say, make sure to use and add these styles to Tailwind. Experience blue. And I guess the other one's gonna be faded experience blue. Just gonna be the background. Which is this, and this is where is it? Faded experience blue. Background of the bill. And I think that should be enough actually. Let's go, let's roll with that. What this should do is remove every notification that I'm kind of getting overall. I think that's okay. Maybe I didn't want to remove the ones in the. I'm gonna check it real quick. Right? Yeah, maybe I want to keep the ones in the sandboxes. So. Yeah, I'm gonna have to but it's okay. Like I'd rather delete them all and then start building or making available the ones I really like, because right now it's just too much noise. Let's just roll with it. I worry about the specific notifications later. Okay, so I just heard a while noise. That was weird. I think you heard it too, right? If you have some from my computer. I hope that's really not from. I really hope that's not from the app, because I haven't had any kind of sound. I really hate sound effects. What I'm gonna do is first I'm gonna test the new XP thing. So if I complete a habit, I should get one of those new. I'm not getting it, as you can see right here. So I'm just gonna check real quick what it did. I'll have you modify it to only show XP related notifications. That's really weird. All right, so I'm gonna make a quick pause real quick, just because I have to go get something, but I'll be back in 5 or maybe 10 minutes. Okay, so after coming back, we going to kind of solve that component thing that's failing so far. Maybe we need to try cursor for that. Let's see, and we'll keep on with the other changes we have in the list. Okay, so I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. Uh, where we were on, okay, so we just made the latest changes about identification. The experience notification system, bro, I'm not getting that anywhere. And honestly, the only place I got to test is on Manage Habits so far. So let's give Lovable another opportunity, okay? Now, I also tell them to remove every notification that isn't XP related, right? So this should happen in like, okay, I'm getting the notification there. But see, this is what I want to remove. So, hmm, I actually like the way this shows, but I'm gonna check how it's being triggered right now. Gain. You know what? I'm actually gonna roll back, and I think Cursor is going to do a better job at doing this change I just made. For sure, right? Let's try it. Gain 2 XP from normal habit. It's a toast, right? Yep. It's the toast component, so I'm gonna go and say make a change app wide. I want to remove every toast component notification that is related to getting experience point, such as the one in the onboarding. Leave also, I want to make a new version of the toast component and make it only for the experience related notifications, and I want it to look like the image attached. Anything else? I don't think I need anything else. Maybe since we are working on this right now, I'm just gonna go and say I'm gonna change how these look. So I'm gonna go in the toast component. Which should be in UI components. Pages, nope. Components here. UI, if I go to toast, it should have like it's very long by the way for a toast thing. But I'm just trying to get the background color. So default is gonna be background white and text gray. But 600 is what I'm using. I'm gonna go with background actually. Text background. Yeah. And if I save that, I think I should at least get a cleaner version, right? Just gonna complete this real quick. Wow, why it's not loading any of the images now? That's weird. It's not loading any of the assets. Oh, it's because I stopped the server. Okay, yeah. Let me get a mage. And then, nope, it's still the same color, right? It's still the same color. Default. Just gonna background transparent. I think that's not it. No. Maybe it's use a toaster. Nope. Use toast, man. Nope. Weird. This is weird. I'm just gonna go with these changes, to be honest. But I'm just going to ask also, please let me know how to change the styles of the current toast component mosaic, which is looking a bit dark. So after this change, I should have a new component, a new toast component variation only for XP related messages with the new attached style, and two, all the previous and existing toast messages throughout the entire app should disappear except for the ones inside the sandboxes services. Let's try that. It's adding the colors. Let's create a new component for the XP toast. Okay, I don't mind that. It's also making the current toast less dark. Sonar. Is that the name of the component? Sonar? It was. That's crazy. Okay. And now it should replace the toasts in the habit system. So basically the instances where we have XP gain and stuff right now. and update a page layout component to remove regular toast notification. Also the character stat sandbox. This is where I am right now, I believe. Okay, I mean I like it, but it's showing at the very top of the screen. Also it's really really big, so I'm gonna change that right now. I'm going to close this all. Bam, bam, bam. These are too many files open for my taste right now. And I'm gonna go and check the, where is it? The XP toast here. And yeah, I'm gonna set the file, and I'm trying to see if I can edit the position right here. Um, I really want to be small, to be honest. I think it can even be smaller. What's less than SM? XS maybe? And then the sparkle size, something like 15. That's better. And also I'd like it to be not full width. Hmm. Position top center. Oh, this is nice. Let's see if I can use bottom center here. Bottom center. It's the opposite. The top. It's bottom, yeah. So now if I go here. Okay, better, better. Maybe I want it to be some kind of, let's see if I can do this, like Y space. No. Margin bottom. Like 4, no. I think it's working, yeah. I'm gonna make it 6 maybe. Just a little bit upside, because I want to account for the menu being there. So I'm not sure if I'm seeing changes, so let's, yeah. Maybe it's showing, I don't know. If I have 40 here, should that be like way up high? Yeah, it's working again. I just think it's really small changes here. Okay, that's nice. So I guess I'm happy with the toast. Let me see if I allocate stat points and stuff. Like those didn't go away. That's fine. I didn't want them to go away. If I go into the habits, this shouldn't go away either, right? That's for one day, and if I complete this, I'm getting the experience. That's all right. I like that. I'm going to move it just a bit more upwards, just so it doesn't clash with the other notification. And finally, I don't want it to be wide, like the entire width of the screen. So maybe I can add a max width to control that. maybe like max width fit. If I go in character, no, my bad, character stats. See me, I have it. Okay, it's actually working, but it's being like all over there. um, so it's ignoring this kind of instruction. So I'm gonna go and maybe explain real quick to the AI this. Hey, I manually changed the component width to be max width fit, and also it has a position property of bottom center. However, it seems like the horizontal and alignment is not working. The item seems to appear at the left side of the screen. Can I hit enter? Okay. Maybe this is like the background container of that notification. Yes. Okay. Got it. Thank you. And I'm just gonna make it just a bit more bolder because it's easy to mess it out. So I'm just gonna go full bold, and I think that's gonna be it. If I go from bold here, oh, I think I removed the. No, wait a second. Why it's not working anymore? Are you kidding me? Did it remove anything from here? Yeah, I think it removed. It added MX Auto. That's right. So if I accept those changes, maybe. Yeah. All right. That's how I like it. That's fine. I like that. So we have that toast component completed, and also I'm gonna trust it removed the toast component, right? So toast stick management using toast, specialized toast simplification, sonar library, okay, toast rendering, toast configuration, automatically dismiss. Okay, so now I just want to make sure that during the onboarding, I don't have anything weird happening or coming up with the notifications. So I'm gonna sign up. I'm going to create my account. User ready to register. Okay, that's fine. 16. Registration successful. See, like I'm trying to delete this, man. Registration successful. What else? I'm gonna do it manually. Please remove the registration successful post message after account creation. Fix. I'm gonna check the list real quick. Right, the next thing we want to change is the dialog box. So we want to make the counter a bit more subtle and remove the extra icons. Okay, so with this new change, now we shouldn't get a notification when we register. I'm gonna test that. Yep, now we don't get that annoying notification. I feel like I could use the space better here in onboarding, like this white space at the top. And also the dialog box, I want to remove this icon right here and make this bar a bit more subtle. Also wrap the text a bit better. I think we can use more space. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do that manually. And I'm gonna go to character dialog, character name, okay, yep. And for the dialog text, I'm gonna go and say line, I think it is. Is it line? Give me a second, I think it's lenter or something like that. Line, height, and that one. It's leading, yeah. Leading and then the number. So we add, I knew it was something with L. Leading height, maybe? I think that's better, yeah. And then I just want it to be regular, to be honest. That's not changing anything. I'm not seeing any change being done here. Also the indicator. Yeah, let's fix this thing first. Phone regular. Phone normal. No, wait, that's for the character name. I'm messing up. Okay, that's all right. Tutorial and then text gray, leaving tight, text SM, font normal as well. Yeah, that's good. I like that. And then I'm going to remove the icon, right? The drag this thing. Only the drag indicator with tooltip. Yes, you're gonna go bye-bye. And then you, I think I'm gonna place you a bit more down. So button 2, I don't know. I don't know what's the axis here. Yeah, maybe. Oh, damn. Well, I think that's better, to be honest. But can I add a negative number here? I'm gonna try add a negative value to the bottom placement. Okay. It looks like this could be it, like -8 pixels, for example. Yes, I think that's it. I'm gonna add -4. And I think that looks good actually. And instead of green, I'm gonna make it like white, right? Just to test if it's a background color. Yeah, it's a background color, so I need to go background white. And then make it like, I don't know, 80, 50 maybe, probably, yeah. And there you go, I like that better. I'm gonna make it a bit more subtle, so I'm gonna go with like 25 and border rounded, so rounded and D, and that looks a lot better. I like that. I think that's okay. The X button, I think I would love it to be like up here. Also, I want the face of the guy to gonna go even further away to the left border. So I'm gonna try and move that out. Even left 8 maybe. Highlight that one and reduce a bit of space. Are we reducing space from the right side? Really? We're not. Oh yeah, it is because it's growing. I understand what's going on. I understand what's going on. Padding left. I don't need your padding right here, and I think I'm fine with no margin right. To be honest, there you go. And because it allows for more space, more text space, so I like that. Uh, but I do want some padding. It seems. So I'm gonna go and padding left too. Yeah, that's better. Padding left too, and then maybe center the head a bit more upwards. I think. Just gonna inspect this real quick, just to understand how it's like being built. So this is the image. Okay, the problem is the image. It is placed right, but it has like a weird spacing up top. So I'm gonna roll with it because it's an image issue. Um, okay, that's the version. Right, I'm fine with that. It disappears. Okay, I think only moving the X a bit upwards for sure. So close button, margin top, give me like -4 maybe, more than that, 12. Okay, that's better. I like it there. Okay, that's right. I like it. I like the component so far. I think we nailed it. And that's for change number 2, right? So we wanted to make like the counter a bit more subtle, remove the extra icons somewhere below. And now we need to fix the route of the images, right? So for example, when we create an active character here, I think we're having a problem. I don't like the fact that this is like overlapping like this here. Might need to change that, to be honest. Maybe add more blur to that background because right now it's or not more transparency probably. Yeah, I probably need more transparency. So if I go here and check the background of this character dialogue, mm, this should be the yep. I'm gonna go to 80, and now it should be a bit darker. Yes, it is a bit darker. Okay, I like that. Arrow here, and then as you can see, we can create the ranger. It doesn't even give an error. Ranger is really buggy here, so I'm just gonna check the assets because I think that's what's missing from the rogue. Is it the rogue? Ranger. Oh yeah, actually one of the big changes we needed to fix today was um, standardizing all the naming conventions because we have Ranger in some parts, Rogue in another part, Hunter in another part. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna check the character stats we made real quick. So we have the classes in here, if I'm not mistaken, like mage, no, warlock, hunter, right? So I'm gonna go and say, great. Now help me standardizing some of the classes to the in the app. Uh, you see, I'm migrating and recycle a couple of parts from other previous versions of, of the app, which are leading to some conflicts described below that I would like to fix and document and update the documentation on in character stats. And one. It seems like we've added the warlock class in some of the instances of the app, such as the character edit page, but I would like to formally add the warlock class to make it also available during the character creation in the warden and also add it to the documentation. Two, it seems like we're using a lot of different names for the same class, the hunter. Sometimes it's referenced as rogue or ranger, but it should be named and labeled hunter in all of the instances. Three, right now I can create a hunter because let me check. Public assets hunter. Yeah, I think it's because it's referencing um, on the onboard. It's probably referencing ranger instead of hunter. So that should be solved with the previous number two. Let's give it a try. It's checking. It's doing a lot of checkup because it needs to make changes in a lot of different files. I'm okay with that. Go ahead, check it. Take your time. Now let's update the files to standardize the classes. I'll make the following changes. Add the warlock to the RPG stat service. That's okay. I think that's the service that control all the stats. Change ranger to hunter in the types and onboarding component. So basically everywhere what we're using right now. And update the documentation stats documentation to include the warlock class, which we didn't have before, as you can see here. Also, I'm probably going to need to do this, like copy and then paste it, and then instead of hunter, just call it warlock, and then rename of this warlock female or warlock male, and this is going to be warlock. That's the warlock icon. Gonna be the same as the hunter right now, but I'm okay with that. It's changing the character creation step. And it's updated the documentation now, right? So it should be over here. Where is it? Where are you, warlock? Oh no, it's not changing the documentation yet. Now it is. Where are the classes? Why can I find it like them like this? Core stats, offensive, calculation, creative, mage, hunter, warlock. There it is. Also, I'm pretty sure the stats for the warlock are like intelligence and stamina, not intelligence and int. But for that, I'm going to make sure I'll check the character creation step, I believe. No, no, I did. It's this one. So if I go to Warlock, it has Mage still has a lot of intelligence. War Hunter has a lot of dexterity, and I think I actually want Warlocks to have a lot of stamina. Yeah, this is more natural, so I'm gonna change manually some of the things we created here just to make that explicit. So mix of spell and a lot of and durability. Alright. Stop. Spell base. Place out. Intelligence and stamina here. There you go. I think we got that. And again, just checking that the RPG service. Okay, we saved this. There you go. Now we're gonna see the changes, right? I have another. I already have another class in here, as you can see. Just using the same icon as the hunter, but I'm okay with that for now. And then I can just go and say hello here. Choose a gender. And the character, that's okay. Manage habits. I'm still getting those for the habits, okay. Character stats, really high competition. I'm getting the XP one. Was it all rounded? I think it wasn't. Yeah, it's not all rounded. I forgot that little detail. So I'm gonna go real quick to XP toast and in the border. Trying to find out what the border is. I think it's rounded excess, maybe. Is excess a valid? No, it isn't. SM maybe. This is the smallest one. Just a bit more because it's like it's 8. So we're gonna try to match that value. If you actually hover on the options here, you can see the values. So I'm gonna go to MD. MD should be fine. Yeah, MD looks better. I like that. And I get the things and I level up. Right? I'm level 2 right now. Just gonna go and keep, just because I like how they stacked right here. And then check the allocation of the points real quick. Bam. A lot of intelligence. Okay. So we're gonna check another item for the list, which was making sure the naming convention was right for the hunter. Let's test real quick if we can actually create a hunter. Oh, and also I wanna, what are you using Habit for, right? So I'm gonna change that here. What are you using? Just because I think the motivation step right now is having way too much space upwards. So padding 4. I think I'm okay with you having putting forward. I don't think it's a problem of the motivation step, but probably of the onboarding page itself. So if I go and check page and get on onboarding, I'm trying to get a style real quick. I don't see any styling down here, to be honest. Motivation, have discovery. Here maybe, notice all the dots. I think it's this bar probably. So instead of justify center, which one is the vertical one? I forgot. Like, it's gonna remove the mod just to see what happens. Yep, that looks better actually. Because it's loading from top to bottom. So if I go continue here, this one is working as well. I like that better, to be honest. So I'm just going to leave like the horizontal God damn it. I'm just trying to leave the horizontal um, alignment correct. I don't care about the vertical one, but I do care about the horizontal. And now let's take, now that we're here and this just pop up, let's just take a minute to solve this problem, right? Like, great. Can you help me fix a bug? Fix the following bug. Right now, if you're during the onboarding process and try to redirect to the main URL, you get automatically redirected to character creation route. Um, we're not really using that route or page anymore, so let's remove it. Let's make sure we don't remove any critical aspect that will break anything else, and replace the redirection for the onboarding instead. Let's see how good it does, because it was a quite vague description. I'm gonna check real quick the component. I think maybe this is being used by the character edit screen, but I really don't. I'm not gonna use that functionality anymore, like the character edit, because that's not something that I will allow users to do. So I'm fine if it disappears as well. If no character, okay. If no character, redirect to onboarding. That's right. Okay, I like it. And now it's removing the route from the app and deleting the file itself. Accept. That's all. That should be it. Yep. And now if I try to redirect this, it's actually placing me in the same step, so that's very, very cool. Now try and create a hunter. Close this. And if I sign up again, I'm just gonna check that. Okay, this isn't. Oh, okay. So that's not the correct value, right? For oh damn, I forgot what I forgot the file. It was character dialog, right? Was it? No, it was onboarding. Yeah, it was this one. So it's item center, not justify center. So this looks up there, right? That's fine, I like that. And then throw motivation, continue, choose three of them here. And if I, for example, want to do this, it should spin me back up to the step I left off. So that's working great, actually. This is the most working onboarding I've done so far with Lovable and Cursor, yeah. Sure, yeah. I forget the name sometimes. And I believe it's good. I'm liking it so far. I think it has a lot to do with the fact that we're building logic kind of apart in another way. Okay, so let's try. I'm gonna check that on my list. I have the list right here. So we already integrated the Warlock in the character creation. We also fixed the naming conventions for the Ranger / Hunter. So I'm gonna check that. What else? We removed the success register message field. That's right. And we fixed the routes of the images. So the hunter, that was part of the whole hunter ranger thing. And now we need to make new images. Remove the character creation part of it. Okay, we just did that. And update the gender icons. So well, let's try to see if we can do it with a single prompt right here, like the gender things. Maybe with Lovable, because I know Cursor doesn't. It's gonna use like the Lucid library, and Lucid doesn't have like a male female icon. I know because this already has happened to me in the previous version. So I'm just gonna go ahead and first of all upload this version to my repo. And so I'm just gonna stop the server right here and go and say git add dot git commit. What we did, fix it bugs related to onboarding routes, classes mismatching, and that's it. And then git push origin main. Failed to push some ref. Okay. Because the tip of my branch, did I make any change with Lovable in here? I don't think we did. Oh yeah, because we forgot to roll back after we restore. But that's okay. We can just force the commit. I forgot what's the name of the command. I think I can ask the AI for help. Yeah. So git push add. Now git push origin main force. There you go. There. Now I just push the change. It should appear as a new version here. You're just gonna wait. Just have to wait a bit sometimes. And let me check what we're missing again. So we're missing updating the gender icons and making new images. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna make the new images today. Maybe I'll try one exploration just to see what ChatGPT comes up with. Maybe kind of gonna go ahead and maybe show you a bit of the process of how I go into my journey and try to find inspiration for a style from it. I have a very clear reference in mind of how I want the characters to look like in what artistic style, but I haven't decided yet. I want to look at it to see, yes, that's the style I want. So before that, we're just gonna make sure that the changes that we uploaded are available for Lovable. It should appear as a comment message in the chat, and it's not, but it should. I think it is because it's not showing the. No, it is. It is showing the character creation rights. I'm just gonna check the GitHub real quick. 2 minutes ago, yeah, fixed looks ready to okay. It's probably a level thing then. And while this load, I think we can just go ahead and try the images I just mentioned, right? So we can go ahead and open Midjourney real quick, just because I want to see what kind of characters people come up with. So create much faster with draft quality images. Wow, that's new. Yeah, I'll go with character. Maybe RPG character. Okay, so you have a couple of styles in here. You have pixel art. I like pixel art a lot, but I feel like sometimes it doesn't get pixel art right. So I think it's not a safe style to use yet for the AI. Although I have to say this looks very, very clean. I'm just trying to see if there's any style I really like. See, I like this one, for example. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it. What else? I don't want it to be like that complex in terms of shadows. Maybe if I skin character, right? It's like more simple. Nope, I don't like this pretty thing very much. RPG toon character, maybe that's what I'm going for. Something more toonish. I mean, this looks fun, that's for sure. I don't like it. I don't like them to be like big headed and stuff. I like this style a lot. I'm gonna see what kind of prompt it use. Gamified. Okay, this doesn't tell me anything about the style, but I like that style a lot. And maybe the last one is gonna be Darkest Dungeon because I really like that game. I like the visual style of it, right? But it's too like fine detail for what I want to do. Like this one I like. It's kind of simple. This one I like too. Yeah. Okay. So let's try a thing. So I like this style, right? Um, and I also like this one. So I'm gonna try and mix them up in with the ChatGPT image generation to see how good it can be at coming up with a style like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go and say it. Copy the image first, bam, then this one. and then help me generate the avatar images of 4 classes for my RPG game. Warlock, Mage, Hunter, Warrior. Things I like about, okay, use the attached images for style reference. I would like to find a balance of the two where the final result of the artistic style is dark, outline heavy, dark comic character with simple shades of light. You know what? I think I'm more inclined to do only like this one because it looks really more simpler. Maybe just not as dark, you know? And I want it to look a bit less dark. I'm trying to say like comic book character. Slightly dark. And let's see what it goes ahead with this. Let's check Lovable. The character creation wrap, it's still there. And it still works, so that's interesting. I'm going to reload this again. This is strange. This didn't happen the last time that I forced a git push. And I'm guessing maybe Lovable it's not using. I don't know why. I think it worked last time, but for some reason it's not using the repo as a source of truth in here. Which again is weird. I'm just gonna go in. It should 100% use the. Actually, if we check the code, things like the character creation was removed, so yeah, actually you can see that we have the character creation steps, but we don't have the character creation screen anymore, so it's weird. It's kind of weird. What else did I update? Just to make sure, just to check if it's updating the other changes. Oh yeah, the class is missing and the onboarding redirection, right? So that at least should work, in my opinion. Just give it a couple of seconds again. Okay, it's creating separate images. I mean, I don't dislike them, but I think they still look too dark. And also I want them to be full body, right? But I like this, that it's now like making one image per request. That's something I think the model has been updated in the last days. Oh god, come on, Lovable. Sometimes this is very frustrating. Okay, so you have character creation still. which again shouldn't be there. And well, if I log out and sign up, the toast is looking old. And yep, this is not updated. Oh, not none of this has been updated. So I'm wondering, dude. I'm wondering what's going on with. Maybe if I just get add again, like make another push, hit create example push. Oh, I forgot the quote. I mean, git push origin main. Everything is up to date. And if we go and npm run dev, we can actually see the latest version we had, right? Which included the warlock and stuff. Yep. Yeah, I think maybe Lovable will just need. Okay, now it is showing there. Yeah, yeah. This happened. No, wait, it's not. This is still looking green and stuff. And I'm trying to see if there's any way to kind of. Can you try to update the app to the current GitHub version? Because last time it take a while for Lovable to load the changes. So yeah, that I just needed to ask her. See, I asked it, and now it's showing the changes. I'm guessing it's just like a system it has to kind of save some computational power and not just like flooding with requests of getting the right version from GitHub every time, because I think it doesn't account for us, making changes locally. I guess that's an L. I'm gonna say that's an L for Lowell, because actually we wait a couple of minutes there. But that's fine. To be honest, it isn't a good practice either to kind of force push changes like I did. I just did it because I know like what I was doing, but you shouldn't. Like that's not something I recommend. Okay, so these icons as well, we're gonna get them right. Um, you know what? I actually got excited about what ChatGPT created. I think this looks amazing, to be honest. I think it means a warrior. Yep. But I'm gonna go and say this look amazing, but let's make a couple of changes and improvements. One, let's reduce the dark tone, the dark vibe of the characters. I'm gonna just throw a percentage, like about 20%. Let's make it 20%. Let's 25%. Let's start there. Let's, instead of talking about the characters, I'm gonna talk about the style. One, artistic style. Let's reduce the dark vibe by about 25%. Characters. Remove. You know what? I actually need to remove the background. I can do that with AI tools, but characters. Make the images show the full body of each character. Make sure the image shows up the character. And three, we miss the word. I'm happy with this being generated again. I think we're getting rain. We were getting rain from the lo-fi on the stream, and I really liked it. It was really soothing. That's something I actually want to experiment with like this custom personal productivity apps, because that's another, like, this is a hot take I have for the space as well. I believe, um I'm not liking this. I mean, do I like it? It looks a bit less dark, which I guess it's no, I do like it. Yeah, I do like it. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. However, what I was saying is, I believe like we're gonna enter an era where a lot of people is going to have the power to come up with technological solutions that might skyrocket aspects of their life, such as productivity, self confidence, even soft skills. And I think I forgot what was my point, to be honest. I kind of forgot. I was making a point about the style or something like that, but I forgot it. Sick. Anyway, if it comes back, I'm gonna tell you about it. Um, okay, we missed it, Warrior. I'm gonna go this. Add to the dark by about 5%. Respect to the latest image characters. Please generate all the characters again in separated images. Warlock, Hunter, Mage, and what was the last one? Warrior. And make sure that you choose your character. And I think I'm forgetting what. Oh yeah. Also, don't add any bottom shadows. Keep the outlines clean for image crop. I like the wire, to be honest. Let's see what it comes up with. It's also very fast. I believe like these are getting so much faster than last week, previous weeks when I was like experimenting with it. Yeah, I was afraid that it will take the same guy as the main image and just do something with it. Yep, I don't know what's. I don't think ChatGPT knows what it's doing right now, to be honest. And this is the only image I got, so I guess I like the style. This is like dark enough, but I don't know what to ask, man. Like, please generate all the characters for. I feel like this is not going to be good because so far I understand it doesn't like pick up very well the image reference used before. Yeah, like I'm just gonna copy this. Yeah, and then gonna go ahead and using the image attach. Let's make a couple changes and improvements. Let's generate a new set of images for the characters classes. Warlock, Warrior, Hunter, Mage. making a couple of changes and improvements from the reference. To reduce the dark 5 of the artistic style by about 10%. Make sure the image is fully showable with each character and leave the outline clean. Floor shadows better than bottom shadows. Keep the outline clean. And make sure they all look like belong to the same universe. And set. Let's try this. I'm kind of improvising right here. I don't have much experience. I have some experience because I've done a lot of things in image generation, but this level of detail that I'm trying to get here is kind of new for me. I don't mind if it puts all the characters in a single image, to be honest. It's kind of surprised me. Maybe what I want to do is just take one of these guys and go ahead and say, okay, make it a bit less darker, and then generate all the different guys from there, right? Maybe I want to do that. Let's try that if this doesn't work. I think we're fine with Lovable. Yeah, it updated the changes. That's fine. You take your time. I want you to get it right. It's also going for the full body now. I like this a lot. So, this looks like it looks dark. It doesn't look diabolically like this guy, which I'm totally fine with. But I don't know. I feel like I don't want this to be like the darkest RPG, Just want it to be dark enough. And I think that's all right, to be honest. Like, I like this. It has huge hands. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm fine. Like, maybe in this universe, that's great. Now generate the hunter, and I'm gonna go and see how good. I'm just trying to test how good it picks up, like the latest reference, to come up with the new images. This image needs to be wider than the last one. So maybe it's maybe it's adding them on the same canvas. I hope not. We also have to update the gender icon, so I believe we can do that in Lovable. So I'm just gonna go and so the gender can be choose here, as you can see. So I'm gonna go and see if I can edit that. Right? And please add male and female icons in the onboardings in the character creation step of the and while we wait, we're gonna go and check our hunter. I mean, I don't love the midget approach, to be honest, and I think the hunter is way more midget than the than the warlock, for example. I believe. Let's try it out. If we had it like face to face here. You know what? I actually like this. I think it gives like the universe like its own identity. You know, the fact that they're kind of midget, it doesn't make it look completely realistically. So what I'm gonna do is try to get them at the same size and say, great, now the warrior. And then finally the mage, right? I like the fact that this dude has like, uh, yeah, see, like he has like skin eyes for some reason. That's fine. I think we can edit that. We can edit that even here. Like I could go and say, uh, okay, I think I need to wait for the current image to be completed. Mm, is it doing something? Because it shows like the stop button in here. So yeah, I'm just gonna go and say what I just said before. Right? And then what I can do with the warrior, because I think he looks kind of evil. Not evil, but I think it's the eyes are going too much away from what the hunter has, for example. I'm gonna still get the warrior here just to make that size comparison thing. There you go. I'm gonna go in, resize it correctly. Okay. Warlock look huge to be honest, so I'm just gonna try. I'm just gonna draw like an invisible square right here. This is a trick I learned for this kind of stuff, right? Where you want to get everything not in the mathematically same size, but in a very similar size ratio. You just draw fantasy lines like this, and you can check how the different things that you make can fit into them, right? So I want to make like aim slightly shorter, aim as well, like this. This is a better balance, and they not have the same dimension like the image. Then wow, this is like yeah, that's not what I meant ChatGPT, but that's fine, you know. That's yeah, I'm not gonna use it. I'm just gonna stick to the version he was giving me first to make honest to be honest. So I'm just gonna go and say here maybe I'm gonna edit the message and say great now the H make it arcane H. Yes. That's here. Let's see if it gets the H right. And I'm gonna start removing the background for this guys. So remove background here. Remove background for you too. Oh, it's loading. There. Remove background for you. This is a premium feature by Figma, by the way. And then Figma Premium to be able to access this background removal thing. And I'm gonna start just exporting this guy. So I'm going to export the hunter right here. I'm actually going to export it at 1.5x, not just 2x, because I know it loses some quality. So projects, YouTube, project Genesis, public assets, hunter, hunter male. Oh, I forgot we needed to come up with the female counterparts. That's fine. Hunter, see the hunter, replace it. Yep. Now going ahead with the warlock. This is the warlock male. Bam, bam, and then the warrior. Then the warrior is also slightly wider. Yeah, so I'm just going to try to crop it a bit like that, so it doesn't look off. Warrior male, bam, bam. Let's see what I came up with the mage. Okay, I like the mage. Yeah, why not? Can work with that. Yep. I'm going to make you slightly miniature, Mr. Mage, so don't turn me into a sheep or anything. Um, like this, right? Mages are tall. And then remove the background. And while you do that, I'm just going to take away some of the spacing here. And then export you to 1.5. And you belong here. Should I yeah, I should twist it like this, honestly. They're looking the same side. Mage man. And man. And if I check it here, right? It should change. So we're gonna actually test it out. Continue. Okay, damn, I like it a lot actually. I like this a lot. Yeah, the mage here, like impression it gaze, like how the whole vibe of the app changes just by that artistic element. I think it's huge. Did it change the icons in here, by the way? It got an error, dude. It got an error just changing an icon. Just Lovable is sometimes ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, look at this. Look at that. So I'm just gonna go and try to get to a previous version. Can I? No. The AI edit systems when it changes to the code base. What? We're the same as the previous code. No, okay. Oh, okay, okay. Maybe that was a problem with the prompt I gave it. That's fine. All right, so let's test let's check the rest of the images. Yeah, I got very excited about them. What is it? Here, that's the mage. You got the mage here. You got the warrior, sick. You got the hunter, and you got the warlock. I think this looks amazing, to be honest. Yep, I like this a lot. I'm just gonna try and check this out on my phone. So again, just like a something you can do yourself. You can always run your npm server. If it's a lovable project, I think it has by default the instruction to open like a network port. If not, you can just tell the AI, hey, how can I start an npm server and run the network port? I think it's just an extra word on the npm run command. And then it's going to give you a port that you can use in any device that's currently connected to the Wi-Fi where you're working to check what you're building. And since we're trying to build a mobile app, this is very necessary, right? So I'm just gonna go with my phone over it. I write that port 8081, and I got it here. I'm gonna sign up for new account test. It's gonna be test or test.com. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sign up, and this is how it looks. The text could be I don't know if you look at kind of right. It doesn't look that well, but I think the text could be a bit bigger. I don't know. It looks good though. I like how it looks so far. And I think I could also save a bit of space in the. See, this is how it looks like the character creation screen. So I think I could save a bit of space here, like here, and then this gaps right here, just to kind of show up the button on screen on load, right? Because right now I had to go to scroll down to see the button, so I think that's going to be a good practice. And yeah, I think that's going to make it look better. I'm just checking out the images for the hunter, warrior, mage. I really like them, not gonna lie. But yeah, I think I'm just going to fix these things that I just want to get this polished now that we have the characters here. So I'm going to reduce some of the spacing here. Elemental mage that wields fire. Okay, let's change that text. Okay, and I'm gonna use cursor for that. So I'm gonna stop the server real quick. No, wait, let's stop the server. I'm gonna go to search and try to search the description, because I'm not entirely sure if this description is loading dynamically or if it's fake. So I'm just gonna search for it, because I know it's dynamically being written here in the sandbox, right? I think you have a couple of descriptions in not in the sandbox, sorry, in here in RPG stat services, right? You have the description here. So let's test it out actually. If I change Maester of Arcane Mage, is that something? No, it's actually different from here. So that's something we can actually do. Like let's ask him to use the reference in the character class in here to actually match what it's kind of showing on the onboarding process, right? So I'm just gonna go and say, can you help me with some changes? One, I want the character. Can I reference that actually? Character creation? Yeah. In the onboarding process, to dynamically use the information about the classes defined in RPG stat service. Why do I have to? Is it the same? Yeah, it's the same file. About the classes defined in here. Okay, so I think this is important just because I know in the future I'm probably going to have a lot of places about it. And actually, Gallup here, I'm just gonna read the comments real quick. That Gallup is saying you want to learn coding, but you don't know how. You want to learn front-end development. Please give roadmap and advice. It shows. Okay, let me think about. There are a lot of variables, right? Like ideally, I would sit with you and try to ask you what kind of things you like in order to recommend. If you are trying to get out on a path of becoming a developer, this is not like the main objective of this channel. For example, I'm not a developer myself. I'm a designer, although I know some things about development, especially front end. And I just try to show people what I know and the knowledge I gather, so they understand that they can use this kind of shallow knowledge, but that it's now useful with this vibe coding tools and the whole AI building tools that you can use to actually create apps like the ones you're seeing on the screen right now. So I think my number one advice right now in this economy, especially if you want to make money out of it, is try to kind of get down what you really want to do, right? I know it sounds very basic, but if you want to become a developer, which I think is going to be a profitable job still in the upcoming years, even though with this AI tools taking a fair quote of the market, because that's a reality, I suggest you to try to, I think the most money making probably is going to be like data analysis and AI applied to data analysis. So if you become a developer in that way, that's going to be useful for you. If you just want to create apps like the ones I'm showing right now and maybe try to get users to sell an app and make a product out of it and earn money from it, you don't need to become a developer. But I still recommend to any of you that maybe are a bit interested more into the technical side of the implementation and the code that we use in tools like Lovable and Bold is probably going to be learning a bit of React, right? Because React is probably going to still continue being the main framework to be the majority of the apps that you're going to build, and it's going to be handy to have some basic knowledge. Like you don't need to become a React expert, but just going to Udemy and taking like an introductory course can help you so much, especially like in the parts of book solving, like debugging. That's going to help you tools to really instruct the AI to solve the problems that you're noticing, that you are being aware of, because you have some knowledge of what's conflicting between the technical aspects of the app. And besides from that, I'll just say I'm not sure if there are many resources out there that you can find about this. Maybe that could be an idea for a video I make. But I advise you to understand how the different parts that anyone new without any that doesn't have any knowledge or any context about the technicality of building an app, understand how the different parts of the tech stack make the app work, right? So understand what's a database, why is it needed, and how does it interact with the rest of the parts of the application, such as the backend, which is usually actually the database is considered part of the backend. But when I say backend, I talk more about the logical part of the application, right? So it's where you define how the information that goes through the app gets processed. What are the functions that you define, that you create in order to go from point A to point B. And then you also, aside from the backend, you have the front end, which is the visual part, which in something as like a React is really like merged together. That's why I recommend you get in React, because it's gonna help you understand both front end and back end in a single strip if you're trying to build with this AI tools. And also, aside from that technicality, I will also advise you, if you're trying to create a business out of it or maybe a digital product, I also advise you to learn about the product side, the product aspect, right? So understand and try to learn what an MVP is, having a clear definition of what you want to build, what features you're going to get out, what features you're going to get in for a first version. How do you plan to distribute your app as well? So for example, I'm building this productivity app for myself, to be honest, for a problem that I found for myself, better said. But I plan to share this with anyone that has a similar vision and it's probably excited about RPGs too and wants to how do you say, wants to engage into an app like this that is going to improve their habits. So I know I have a couple of channels where if I kind of tell people to um, that this is something that I build, that it's gonna work like this, that has a couple of features coming on, it's gonna get some people excited, that people that I game with, for example, that I game with sharing other RPG games, people on Twitter also that it's into the self-development space. So thinking about that aspect of distribution when you finalize a product, even if it's something that was born just because you have a personal experience, you had a personal struggle you wanted to solve with, could really make the difference in this internet days, to be honest. Hey, shout out to my man Ari there, which was actually the person who got me into vibe coding for a huge margin, introducing me Lovable. Check out his ex profile. He also live streams. I think he builds mostly AR related apps with Lovable, which is very cool. So check it out if you want to also follow more people building cool shit with Lovable these days. Um, okay, so continuing on, let me just check where we left on. I think oh yeah, we wanted to make this descriptions dynamically because as I was saying, I know I'm gonna reference like the description of these characters in maybe other parts of the app in the future. So I don't really like this being hard coded, being static. So I'm just going to stop right now and just make that dynamic so it doesn't cause any kind of compatibility issue in the future, right? Also, something I want to do here is I want to kind of instruct the AI. Something I'm also trying this new way of developing apps that I'm going for with Lovable is I'm trying to create a record somehow that allows another AI or the very same AI to understand how the main features work, right? So that's why I created, for example, like the systems and documented the system for the like the character stats in here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, like the character stats for here. It's basically a description that the very same AI is generating on defining some of the very basic logic and interactions that something as the character stats it's influencing the app. So it's kind of telling out us here what other services are interacting with this one to make this happen, to make this possible. So the experience, for example. And I want to make clear that that the information being used for the warlock here, for example, for the different classes, it's something that it's being kept track of as well. So I'm gonna go with this instruction, and I want character creation step in the onboarding process to dynamically use information about each class, each of the classes defining in. And I'm just gonna throw here and also in character stats MD just to make it all consistent. I'm just gonna drag and drop the document here manually. There you go. So character stats in there. And I think I wanted to ask something else referring to this one. Oh yeah, I remember. What I want to leave out written is please document somehow in character stats that every time class information is pulled, for example, character description, class description, it should be fetched from the single source we just standard. So what I'm basically trying to tell the AI here is I know this is information that is going to be fetching other sides of the app as well. And if I create a new screen tomorrow, what I need to show the description of the class again, I don't want you to come up with the class as a static value as you just did with this screens that I'm changing, but I actually want you to leave an instruction that when written and when an AI is reading and interacting with the instructions to interact with that service, it's going to use the dynamic value instead of creating static ones. That's what I want to do. I feel like I should give them that. Like, my idea with instruction number 2 is that somewhere is that there's a documentation somewhere that clearly instructs anyone interacting with the systems, especially the ones related to configuration, that guides the developer or the AI to use the dynamic values of it instead of making up static information for things such as the class icon, the name, which was a problem before as well, the description, and of course the stats. Let's see what it does. I just really like the the style I got from the references. I love it. I think I may be adding a glow. I have like a blue glow on the image, like a steel background for the water. They could use more color right now, just to add to that personality element of connecting with the character. This is, by the way, how I generated. Probably gonna share this on the Rift website. I'm working on it, but once ready, I will usually gatekeep all of these prompts that I'm using behind a newsletter or something like that. Whether you can show me support and I will share these resources in a fair way to you, of course. Okay, I'm just gonna read some of the changes it's doing, just because I want to make sure it's doing the right things. Okay, the first thing is updating the character creation step to use the class information in RPG stat service. So I'm just gonna close everything right now because I just have too many tabs open here, and I'm gonna open the character service. Where is it? RPG stat service here. Yeah. And I'm just gonna make sure that the descriptions and all the stuff, it's like really aligned with the classes we're built, right? So the hunter, the high dexterity and precision, I'm gonna change the high crit chances here. High crit chance. Yeah. For the warlock, that's right. We'll balance powerful spells and a big health pool. That's fine. The mage, powerful spells and intelligence. Yes. Strong and resilient. Okay, I like this descriptions. Now it updated the character stats MD. So it has implementation guidelines where it now outlines single source of truth. The character classes constant in RPG services serve as a single source of truth for all character class information. This includes names, descriptions, base stats, and any other specific information. That's probably going to be the icon, which I haven't unlocked yet. So examples, it's drawing examples. Okay, I think that's fair. I think that's enough. So if I go and check now it should be 2 lines for everyone. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Now it updated. I wanted to change the description mainly because we were getting like classes that had like 3 lines of description in here, and I just wanted to save some space on the screen. I still have some cleanup to do, but I think we are on a pretty fair level. Also, I want to make sure that the images are the same. If you saw me like do the character like modeling here, like trying to get them all into a similar face because ChatGPT didn't give us the very same size for them. We kind of it seems like we kind of have other images that are bigger than others, right? So for example, I hate this effect when you change from wire to mage. You can see that some of the elements get pushed like below. I don't really like that. uh, so I'm just gonna check the page because I think I can make the change myself just with a max width property. So that's character creation step, and right after character avatar here. Okay, yeah, we're gonna say page max. Is it like this? I'm just gonna ask add max height. Um, how much it can be? I don't know, like 80 views went maybe views height here. Wait, tell me. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna test that size maybe. And if I no, it's not working, but I believe it's because this is not bigger than maybe something like it needs to be a set value. You know what? I'm actually going to ask the AI here what's the best thing to do because I don't want to waste more time. So I'm just gonna go and say I've added max height here because the images I'm using seems to have different height. Can you help me find a way to make them all have the same max height? So even if they have different values of it, they are integrated in the layout without having secondary effects such as pushing the other elements around based on their intrinsic height values. Yeah, I think it's mainly just setting up like a fixed value. So if you get 400 pixels, for example, yeah, right. So instead of, I'm gonna go with 600 maybe. I like 600, but of course we'll need to move this a bit upwards and maybe, I don't know if this space right here is because of the image itself. Yeah, let me check the image real quick. No, it's actually not. If you check the image, it's maybe the container maybe, but the image itself, it's not that. Oh, it's because the max height actually. So I think we're gonna go for something smaller, like 500. Yeah, 500 looks definitely better. And still with 500, I like to move this a bit up. So I'm going to go with the class description and maybe add 80 here. That's a bit too much. So maybe 66. Did that work? That 56? Yeah, I don't think that's oh, it is 52. Okay, 52 looks better, I believe. And you see now that we have the max height, this is not pushing the other elements anymore. I guess again, I just really like this screen. I wouldn't normally spend so much time in details. I think this is detailed enough. I think it's great enough. Of course, if we implement the right icons and the gender things here. But I'm just gonna clean it up a bit just because I want this to look real clean, so I can save some space on the first part of that container here with the waters, but you got the class icon and name, right? So if I go to here, I believe, maybe add a pattern of 2. Yeah, that's now slightly, maybe 3, right? That's fair enough. Oh no, but we need the padding X to be the same and the padding Y to be slightly shorter. I like that. And I'm gonna do the same with the content inside, right? So the content inside, which is class description. I don't need it to have that much margin bottom. Maybe 1 is fine. Maybe. I feel like I need to push it down a bit, but it's okay. And you can be 4. You can be. I'm gonna remove it actually because I don't think we need extra space there. Yep. I think this looks better, but I'm just gonna add a bit more space at the bottom. It's always a good practice when you're like developing containers. It's always a good practice that you leave like some room for breathe at the end, even if it's not the same value as a top margin or top padding. Like it always looks better because it leaves like some room for breath to kind of understand that something ended, that there's space to process what you just read, to add a white space there. So I'm gonna go with margin bottom 2 again here. Right, is that changing? I think it is, but not in the right place. I'm just gonna create a really huge value to see. Yeah, that's actually the separation between the two things. So I'm just gonna go back with 1. And I'm just gonna add the custom button value here. 6, probably right. 8. I think 8 looks fine. I'm just gonna move it down a bit now. So maybe it's 48, maybe less, 40. And you know what? We can actually do it 48 and maybe decrease the image just because I don't want this tip of the shoe to show here. I'm gonna go and make the image slightly, a couple of pixels smaller, 20 pixels more. Did that change help and anything? I think it didn't. Yeah, that's not working. It's probably because of the alignment of the image itself. I'm just gonna leave it at 500 as if it was before. And I don't know. I don't like the tip of the foot showing there. Does it show the tip? Yeah, it shows for the others as well. You know what? Maybe I do want it more. Slightly smaller. That's right. Maybe I just want it a bit smaller and just move the thing down a bit. It's gonna be better. Move the whole container, right? Like that. And maybe these buttons in here, just again, have it a bit more upwards as well. So those are class selection. Like that. Yes, I think that looks a bit more tidy. I'm just gonna leave some room for the button. So I just want to make sure that this information is clearly separated from the button in there. So I think I'm gonna add 6 in here. Maybe 8. Yeah, 8 is okay. I like this. And I don't know, maybe I can, you know what, maybe to even save more space, I could just move these buttons here for the class selection to before the container. Let's see how that looks. No, okay, it's overlapping there. Let's see if I put it before the character avatar. Maybe the character avatar, like placing it here, could work as well. What I'm trying to do right now, and this is something I should have done in the design, to be honest, is trying to make it all fit into the same screen, that I don't have to scroll down to see the start adventure button, because that's the character creation button. I don't want the friction to be there. We probably need to make those buttons slightly smaller too, I'd say. Um, but that's fine. For now, I'm just gonna leave it what it was before. Just trying to find it, make sure it's there. There you go, class selection. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave it there for now. I don't mind scrolling a bit. I think it's worth it. You got the character name, and I'm gonna close this session up with making the female versions of these characters. So let's roll with it in ChatGPT here for a second, and let's go and say it. Let's see how we want to do this. Because we kind of removed the dialogue that we had here for the warrior. I'm just gonna copy and paste the same images. Yeah, just gonna make that. So I actually did that before, if I'm correct, but I'm going to use the last version he gave us. So mage and and I'm gonna go and say great. Now using the very same artistic style, let's create the female versions for each class. Let's generate an image with the female versions for each class. Let's see how it does it, because when we started this conversation, it actually did this, which I didn't know he could do. Like, he generated 4 different assets from a single prompt, and I honestly wanted to do that again, but I think it's okay if it gives it like the whole thing into a single image, as long as we can crop it and there are like clear borders that we can use. That's gonna be fine for me. Let's see what it comes up with. Also, I think we made a couple of changes here. Yeah, we're making a couple of changes here, but before pushing these changes into the Lovable version, I'm gonna make sure we have the female versions, the female assets. That's it. Let's see how the female versions look like. Okay, I like the female so far. Of course, I'm thinking about hypersexualizing the female characters on my game, but I think this is a better approach. It looks more realistic, right? Like a warlock in a fantasy universe, female will probably look like this. So I like this. Great. I guess we're gonna have to do it prompt by prompt. Now the hunter. I'm just gonna make sure I reference the images again. Female hunter. And I'm gonna start working on these images, sizes and stuff. So I'm just going to make this wider. Ask Figma to remove the background and shrink this a bit. And there you go. Change the orientation. Try to place it Similar ratio here. What's what? Oh, so this is the way that Figma actually. I didn't know that. Didn't know this is before. It doesn't remove the image that you have, but it makes a mask with the new version. That's clever, Figma. I'm gonna leave it like that. I think, yeah, I'm gonna leave that. It's okay for me, man. I'm not going to be. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but like in my universe, like just as I've seen in real life, women are usually slightly less taller than men, so I'm just gonna play around with that. Maybe not. Maybe just a slightly shorter version like this because otherwise it's gonna. I think it's gonna bring some issues into the placing of the characters in the screen. So we got the warlock there. We got the ranger. Cool ranger. I like it. Yeah, that's fine. I probably like to remove this like brown tipping here just to make it cleaner, but I'm not gonna waste liters of water on it. So I'm just gonna copy it and no wait, I'm just gonna create the image. And I'm actually going to mark this conversation here just because I'm probably gonna use this whole entire prompt to develop the entire assets universe for the project. Just gonna mark it with an emoji. Oh no, wait. Well, let's see if it picks up the male mage before, because I didn't give it the image. I forgot. Same again, removing the background in here. Make that fit into the layout we prepare here. Okay, sure. Like this, that's perfect. And just remove this extra spacing that it's not doing nothing good. There you go. The upper one is fine. I hope he gets the female mage like with the same style. I mean, I know it's gonna keep this style, but I wanted to use the same outfit as the male mage is using, just as the other classes. I'm not a fan of blue eyes. I mean, I do like the blue glowing ones, but yeah, I'm probably going to manually edit that because I think the glowing eye is really a nice touch. Make the eyes slightly glow. I got an error in there. I don't know if it was an error reference in the image or what. Let's see if it creates a new one. Yes. For the moment, we can start exporting this asset. So 1.5, because Figma reduces the quality a bit when exporting PNG for some reason. Never found out why. I remember it was a huge headache. The first freelancer gig I got with Figma, I was eating my head trying to understand why the Figma was downgrading the quality of PNGs exported for some website assets, and how could I fix it. It was one of those moments where you feel like, damn, I really do know nothing about about life, about my job. Okay, it make the hunter. It give the hunter to go away. So We maybe we do the glowing manually. Yeah, why not? Let's just do it manually. I think it's gonna be faster. So again, just using the Figma AI here to remove the background, flip that image, change the size, and I want to make sure I understand this glow a bit more. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to mimic real quick. Right, so it's like really blue like this on the outside, and then more like white on the inside. And then if I grow that circle and make it slightly transparent, actually this needs to be 0. Let's do it something like 40. Like this, maybe a bit more blue, let's say. A bit more like this, right? And 64. Yeah, I think that's right. The shade, I like the shade. So going here, I'm gonna group this just to work better. And then the color of it is this. So right. I'm gonna go ahead here, head back to the eyes real quick. This is a glowing, and with my vector tool, I'm just going to try to match the eye as good as I can. So bam in there, bam. Doesn't need to be perfect. No pupils, of course. Yeah, I think that works, and I can fix it with the glow maybe. Can I? I'm just gonna untoggle the working with pixels things. I forgot where is it. Snap to pixel, yeah, because I don't want it to snap to the pixel. And maybe that's a lot better, yeah. And can I just copy this? Is this symmetrical? Okay, it is somewhat symmetrical, so I'm just gonna manually try to place it in here. Maybe leave some room for the... There. I think that works. You know what? Maybe a bit less. No, I think it's okay. Yeah, I think it's okay. Another glow. So I'm gonna go real quick. There and there. You find it there. Yeah, I think it's good enough. Maybe just add a bit more to this side. Because that side is like closer, right? This side is like closer to the screen. And that's it. Okay. Now we get the image. I think the size is right as well. I feel it's a bit thin on the thin side. Maybe like this. Remove some of the down spacing here. And I think that's fine. And finally the word. This crash. So I'm just gonna copy the water model here and go as a... I'm going to replace this. Then now the water. And can I paste images in here? No. Oh, I think no. The keyboard is fine. Where are you, water? Here's a copy image. I think I can copy. Oh, it's actually, it hasn't stopped finished the archer. So we gotta leave it some room for it. I think I'm gonna go and ask for maybe make the warrior like blonde or something, just because I noticed that we don't have any blonde character. I realized late that that the characters are really not that inclusive, and it's not that I'm inclusive all for in and all this stuff, but it's a character creation, it's an RPG universe, and I really like to just give out the feeling that you can create a character that looks like you. So I'm probably go back and maybe I don't know, make the hunter like a bit brown skin, something like that. And for now, I'm gonna make the warrior blonde, like a Viking warrior, right? If ChatGPT ends with this image someday, of course. I'll be back with you in a bit. That's my cat asking for her daily dose of attention and calls, especially now that winter is coming, right? Just like Game of Thrones. Her name is Pixel, by the way. Say hi, Pix. Say hi to the public. Okay, so it's not showing it's working on the image, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say, um, great. Now the warrior, now the female warrior. This is hard with the cat licking your hand. Make it want. Let's see what it comes up with. Hopefully this is the last one. After that, I think I'm going to play around with creating icons, and although it's not like perfect and as as detailed as I would like for a high level of design for things such as icons, I think we can get like some really good looking icons here in the for the stats. For example, I use this like I literally stole this from like flat icon. I wasn't planning to use them. I actually used different ones on the current version, like default um, from the Lucid library. But I want to make my own and make it do like the stats, also like the difficulty badges of the habits and the classes, even the classes icons themselves. But we need to have the female warrior first. And okay, just because I'm wrapping up things, I'm gonna make new images just because we finished that, and I'm gonna leave updating the icons for tomorrow. So tomorrow we're gonna do that. What we're gonna do tomorrow also as well. Let me check the app real quick to see where we left off. I think we pretty much cover about the onboarding process. I feel confident about it right now. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to come up with the dashboard, right? The dashboard screen, which we already have a design and even a working version in HTML around here, somewhere here. Like we have at least these two components which I want to recycle, and the habits section where the list is going to be. So I'm going to try to recycle this from the previous version and make the onboarding screen. So I'm just going to go ahead. Onboarding screen. That's going to take us a lot, probably, of time, getting the details right as well. So I don't want it to be ambitious. That's probably all we're going to do tomorrow. And the settings screen as well, right? Settings screen where we're going to move the QI controls and the logout option, which is currently on our onboarding. We're gonna move it to the settings screen. ChatGPT is a bit slow, probably because of the demand. I think I'm fine with waiting. I just want to get that last wire before I go. This was like the exploration I was doing for the style. Like I really like a game called Darkest Dungeon. I really like the dark vibe. I tried to find a character that had um, like the details weren't that small. Like it has big outlines. It has two colors, two shades of colors for shadows and light. So that kind of simplicity, it's good in mobile screen because it's not going to look over detailed. So I chose that image. I was also doing like some other explorations, but at the end of the day, I really just liked this version. Yeah. So I'm gonna see if I can save this because I just think this could be useful for future um, reference. Just gonna save them, like them, and just this one and this one. And yeah, ChatGPT probably like got this in here. I don't think this is gonna be possible tonight. But that's fine. We got a lot of images from it. Also, before going, I just want to. Um, there was a new this afternoon that OpenAI released its kind of CLI code editor, which I don't know nothing about. Like I wouldn't, I'm not at the level to code at the CLI level yet, but that looks really powerful. So if you're a developer and you're into it, make sure to check it out. It's probably going to be very, very powerful. I hope so. Like everything that they've been delivering, it's really powerful so far because they're entering the competition seriously. And I don't know. I might look a couple of YouTube videos these days, and maybe in Friday we can use the live stream to test that out. Um, Make sure to leave in the comments if you like that. Try it out. I'm trying to make an approach where maybe we don't do we have a couple of days of the week to build this app, which is like the main series we're building, and then other days where we can maybe like take a lighter approach and just discuss the news, discuss the latest tools, just as a kind of hub where we can just inform ourselves and hear interesting opinions about the latest trends, tools, and things happening in the AI space, especially in the vibe coding space. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end it here just because I'm starving right now. But thank you so much as always for coming. I appreciate um, you coming here. We have a lot of people today. I'm happy about that. If you want to keep learning about vibe coding and the things you can do with it and how to build a profitable business out of it, make sure to check my YouTube channel. Just, the link, the tag, you can find it here in this purple bar. You can also go to my X profile and check my YouTube channel from there. And just follow me up. I do daily streaming, building the series that you just saw, and other things. So if you're interested into that, please stick around. And